Well, hello. We are at the Overlander Hotel. We are waiting for our mammoth. It's not actually mammoth. I think it's everything other than a mammoth. We've got camel. What have we got on the menu?
Camel, emu, crocodile, kangaroo, and barramundi.
Can I just admit?
With some vegetables.
With some, yeah, there's corn on cob or something. Really.
There is.
Yeah.
It's a potato. Yeah.
Yes. And what's funny, and I need to admit it, is that I've never had kangaroo, emu, crocodile, or any of those native animals, even though I've eaten most things on the planet. Never any of those things, so it's going to be a first tonight.
Fantastic. Enjoy.
So I'm here with Phil Woolcott, and you've been here how long?
Almost 15 years now.
15 years in Alice Springs, and you pretty much run the show now. He's on the Grand Gay Council for local Centralia. You pretty much.
Yeah, well, I guess I came here for 2 years originally, and having been here, it was just quite a remarkable experience. The people were fantastic. There was quite a significant gay network that was already established when I got here. A lot of people had done a lot of groundwork, so it was nice to sort of become a part of that. Monthly dance parties and just general network stuff that's really nice. And the cheers were up, and I was like, well, I'm not going anywhere. So.
And what was that? Was it more a push away from you? Where are you originally from?
From Sydney.
You're from Sydney. Did you find it was more of a push away from Sydney or a draw to the Alice?
Pretty much a draw to the Alice. After I arrived here in August '93, so I went back to Sydney for Christmas, and I thought, okay, and I flew back in January, and I thought, this is home out there, this whole different feel. I was just come over the big city.
Do you feel that you had a sense of belonging and community here that you didn't have back home?
Well, fortunately, I was involved in a community university in the city, and that had a really lovely sense of community and family. And when I arrived here, it was very similar, but on a smaller basis. Erskindale's got something like 27,000 people, and the whole Alice Springs has got that type of, right, we can network this.
Yeah.
And so it was a really nice feel. I was very welcomed by people. And
did you feel like you were part of the drawing out of gay people out of the woodwork, or were people already quite comfortable with who they were here? Or?
Yeah, they were all comfortable with where they were at.
Guys, dinner's up.
Thanks.
Alright.
Here comes the blowout.
Our tucker's ready.
That's it.
But no, I'd really like to know, like, you were here for 7 years before you got in your relationship. What was it like being single in the remotest part of Australia? Like, right in the smack bang in the middle, what was it like being single?
Oh, it was fine. I had work roles, I had friendship roles, I had significant relationships with other people. You know, I love a relationship, but significant relationships. And so it was just fine. And
you never felt something lacking or anything like that? You were fulfilled with the mateships that you had here? And
and you could travel in the state occasionally, somewhere, some weekend or whatever. But in terms of...
I think anyone out there in rural Australia can identify with the fact that whenever you have the word bonk, the word travel is right next to it.
Yeah, that's it. Well, yeah, it allows you to sort of be yourself somewhere else.
Yeah.
When you're in a small community, people identify you, and so you've got to be a little bit careful.
Is that a problem here?
It's not a problem, but it's an issue. It's not who you see, but who sees you. So you have to be a little bit sort of careful in terms of your behaviour and what's going on. So it was easier to sort of be in a state communication or something. I mean, it doesn't discount the fact that there were a few interactions here in Alice Springs, but they weren't anything particularly special until Glenn fell into my world. That is like an angel, really, just came into my world.
We can all get soft and soppy, but just on that gossip thing, and that's the biggest thing that anyone in a small town knows. It doesn't matter if you're gay, straight, or terribly confused. How is that, especially before you were in a relationship, that whole gossip issue? Like, is the gay community here one that is really gossipy and that whole bitchy queen syndrome? Is there that?
It was a bit like that when I first got here, but things sort of moved on, and people respected other people's integrity and privacy, I guess. People would observe from outside. Glenn and I met on New Year's Eve 2001. New Year's Eve 2001. We didn't actually get together, as it were, until July. Just after that, I already planned a trip to the United States with my sister. and like 3 or 4 weeks ago, I was thinking, oh, I want to go now. I just want to stay here. Anyway, that became a bit historical because we got trapped in the States because the towers came down to get out and that sort of stuff. So then it was like, oh, now I can't get home to him. Like, but it took some time. Glenn just sort of took his time with observing that sort of stuff. But I wasn't that I was looking for anybody in particular, but he was a really nice man and very supportive and doing lots of stuff, and it kind of just fell into itself. So, and I'm just very lucky that he's here.
And do you think that you could have found such a rewarding relationship not being in the Alice? Do you think that it's a place that's really conducive to secure long-term relationships?
Yeah, it is. I was in a previous long-term relationship for 11 years in Sydney. And so there is life beyond, Alice Springs in terms of enduring long-term and longevity relationships. But that sort of moved on and life moved on. So here it's just been a really nice aspect of being here. And he's been a huge part of making the B&B work because he's a tradesperson, so he's able to do lots of
That's handy.
So he's a handy man. He sleeps next to me. That's it. Very handy.
And so what about? So you've moved on. Obviously, you've been here for a fair period. You went through that same period. Now you've met this amazing guy. What's it like for younger guys who are actually born here and are coming through? They're 15, 16, and what's it like for them? Is it as comfortable as it has been for you, for them coming through and having to come out in their own local community?
I'm sure it's different for them because they're still 15 or 16. I'm 30 plus, so I'd already achieved certain things before I got here, and life experiences. For young gay men here, it's pretty much every year. I work in a local high school as their school counsellor, and pretty much every year one of the year 12 or the year 11 kids comes and says, "Phil, I think I'm gay." I say, "Okay," or lesbian, and so we explore those options and we look at how they evolve those very safely, with respect and integrity. Don't go places they're not ready to go. That kind of stuff, right? And suggest to them that they're exploring that sort of stuff, but they just need to be a little bit sort of careful around that. Most gay people in Alice Springs, the younger generation, will be here for a while, then they'll move away to the major cities where they can explore that.
Are they running away or are they drawn away?
They're drawn away because they need to explore that at a larger level that Alice Springs can offer. They need cities with 50, 60, 120 and 500,000 people. Alice Springs is only 27,000 people. And for young Aboriginal people, it's very different. Here, the behaviour is tolerated, but the orientation is not. So to have gay stuff happening is kind of okay, but you can't stand up and say, "I am." So the orientation is not okay in Aboriginal culture, but the behaviour is sort of tolerated. So especially for young Aboriginal people, they tend to sort of move away to the larger cities, Adelaide, Brisbane, Sydney, where they may have extended family operating, but it allows them some level of anonymity to explore that sexual dimension of theirs.
Wow. Speaking of being drawn away, we're being drawn away
to
our camel and our crocodile and our what is it, lamb shakes. Lamb shakes from South Australia. I love lamb.
From Limestone Coast.
All right. Excellent.
Thanks, Dave.